hot. I need to back up.
Gotcha. So while we wait on the rest of the band to show up for the last 10 minutes of this fireside chat in perfect audio synchronicity, how do you feel about the theme? So we're trying to share stuff around the make friends, make music, make a difference concept. I know that you've got a huge network of folks that you could share and talk about when we come and do the fireside chat. So I made that handy dandy band doc so people could like make notes and dump ideas down or drop names in there, so we can kind of keep track of it. We've got to figure out how to share the photos and stuff, either into a shared folder where I can grab them, or everybody kind of at least uploading them inside of Planoly, and we'll try to make the copy for it as a team. But I was going to say today on on the show, talking about like make friends, why we went off to Discord, why we invited people, that whole mamma jamma. What was your experience?
Nobody clicked on the link that I sent them.
To join the Discord?
Even people that I know use Discord for other things, which really irritated me.
Right?
Because I know they're on there. I know they use it.
I actually had on a side situation where a couple people had recommended it as a platform where we could, stay connected. And then so I started reaching out to them through there, and I wasn't hearing back from them. So, what do you think? What do you think is going to be the situation if Microsoft buys them out? Do you think they'll improve like their features, or do you think it'll just turn into something we don't want to use?
Well, they broke Skype, and then they broke Teams after purchasing both of those. So, they don't have a good track record of buying things. They generally buy something they want to buy, because there's a patent or something they want, and they'll buy that and use that in one of their own things, and usually they just leave things running for a long time and ruin them. Google, on the other hand, likes to buy up really, really awesome things and then ruin them and then shut them down, which is really frustrating. Google's worse, actually, I think, than Microsoft at this. Several things I've used for years that I loved, absolutely loved, and then Google buys them up and goes, this doesn't perform to Google's levels, and just shuts the whole thing down. And what it was doing fine when it was a standalone company.
Right.
But, yeah, it's very frustrating.
It seems like something you would do if you had like their budgets to be able to buy these companies up and kind of pull the things you want from them and then get rid of them so they're not competing with you.
Well, and that's the thing. But in the case of Google, a lot of things they've bought and then shut down, there is no competition from Google or anyone else. It was like the one company that did the thing, which is, when Google bought it, we're like, oh no, there's no other option for doing this thing. And then they get shut down because Google's like, well, there are enough people using this thing. Because they right. When they buy something, they want to make it like worldwide, like, and if everybody using it. And if it still remains a niche thing, they're like, yeah, it's not worth their time. I think at that point they should sell the company back off or something, but they don't.
Right.
You just get email saying so-and-so service will stop at some point. But
we digress.
I have not heard from Eric and Kyle, which is good.
It's all good. I mean,
no one's watching.
Kyle was probably going to be a little late, and I knew that we were going to have to work through some kinks, so I was okay with just like hitting the go button on giving this a whirl and getting out of Discord, because nobody in the band seemed to like the video chat functionality there.
Discord's video chat is terrible. It's very low quality. Their audio chat's not great either. It breaks down all the time. Like our D&D games are constantly like, wait, what did you say? Can you do that? Can you say that again? Hold on, I gotta disconnect and reconnect.
A lot of that is user though. It seems like a lot of people on Discord, even just for audio, it's like they don't realize that if they're on their laptop and they've got their laptop speakers up too loud, there's it'll like.
Well, I'm talking about connection issues.
Oh, okay.
It's more like just people drop constantly. And
Gotcha.
doop, someone's out of the conversation, whoop, they're back in.
That's wild.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't help. Doesn't help that several people in my group have potato internet like yours.
That makes sense. It's going old school. We're not used to all of this advanced technology like you are, Jamie.
Well, and doing all this on Windows is very different than I said, I used to do this kind of professionally for the Army, like streaming conferences and stuff, doing all these scene things and popping stuff. But it was all on this great application called Wireshark, or not Wireshark, I mean LiveWire. I don't know. It was a great app.
That sounds right. LiveWire sounds right.
It was a great app, and it was on a Mac, and everything just worked. You had your video sources, your audio sources, and you didn't get. I've never had a looping issue like that because it was smart enough not to pull audio from another window that that you hadn't actually specified.
Well, I'm sure that problem's solved. Just please save those settings.
Well, the setting was to to close the YouTube window that had the stream going in a random tab.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the make a music portion of today's fireside chat, since we'll only really have like a solid 12 minutes of talking without echo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can edit this down for the actual public release.
I sure will. Yeah, I'm going to do that in YouTube Studio. So Kyle was sent the mixes of the track that we're spending most of our efforts on right now, which is Before Your Time. And Kyle got the tracks. We've got horn parts that came in from Jason Mendelsohn. And none of us have heard everything in its proper sitting yet, except for Kyle. So hopefully we'll get a chance to get that soon and share that on a future fireside chat. We're working on some sort of video to be able to share with MagFests. That's the Music and Gaming Festival. They're doing a console gaming room Twitch live stream on June 11th and 12th. And so we're working on a video to share for that. And I'm going to be reaching out to friends in bands because I get to schedule blocks of time like a quasi DJ. I will gather videos from friends in other bands and kind of collate them. And I think all I really need is the YouTube link. And then I can send them to, like on a spreadsheet, to the moderator for the event, and then they can just like live stream them that way. And then just rebroadcasting them through the Twitch channel.
Oh, so MagFest is going to be all via Twitch this year?
Well, MagFest is in January, so there's a really good chance that the main event is going to be back at National Harbor in January.
You'll take I should play.
Yeah, I get a lot of love in consoles. We don't make video game music, so that's one reason why we don't make a lot of features at the primary event. But the
so what you're saying is we need to do a cover of a video game song. Got it.
I think what we should do is maybe get somebody. We should get somebody to do chiptune.
Okay, I'll stop. No, Jen's over there. Yeah. Jen's sitting there going, da-da-da-da-da.
That's great.
Da-da-da-da-da. All right, sorry, go on.
Well, we should get somebody who does like chiptunes to remake Yellow Tie Guy stuff into a chiptunes.
I used to do a lot of that in college.
8-bit
tracking for the scene.
Stuff?
Yeah, tracking, for the scene. That's what we called it back then.
That's cool.
Huh.
I haven't really gotten into.
I don't even know if the tracking software even still exists anymore. It's got to be out there. It's got to be people still doing it.
Oh yeah, there's probably a ton of stuff for it. I know half a dozen people. On one hand, I know half a dozen people that are doing like chiptunes with.
Wish Kyle was here. He's the person to ask. He could easily play our stuff right into it.
Yeah. But then we are working on some other remixes. We've got. We're reaching out to DJs. I just spoke with a gentleman in Dallas. Let me see if I can find him, and I'll give him a little shout out here. I just talked with. If I switch to my
Still contact info for Brandon.
which Brandon?
Brandon, we met at the college tour thing. The rapper from Southern California, slash principal.
Yeah, I probably do somewhere. You know, if I went through my archives, I'm sure I could.
Actually, wait, I think I'm friends with him on Facebook.
He went by something like B. Grigio.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So I spoke with a possible contact named Sam Culp. Cole gave me his info. He referred him to us. And so we chatted, and I talked to him about the DMV project and maybe some, like how we're trying to get through this and trying to keep it central to the DC scene, but maybe for a next project to go more national or international and reaching out for like the primary recordings. Let's see, what was that? I gotta look at my recent friends. It's so funny, I still don't know how to do any of this stuff, you know? Like I connect with somebody on Instagram and they're like, awesome, this is great. And then I'm like, I can never find you again. Like,
trust me, I have 60-something thousand Instagram followers.
I bet. Yeah.
The flood of messages I get every day, mostly from very confused men who think that I'm the model that's in my photos. Get lots of "I love you, please marry me" comments, and like I sometimes respond with a photo of myself, just like.
So if you go to Instagram and check out Pro Producer Sam, that's who I spoke with.
Pro Producer Sam.
And they do tracking, mixing, mastering, will travel. Got a bunch of experience and like kind of just getting at the spot where they got so much material out they can afford to raise their prices. So come in early, you know. But I'm excited. I've got a lot of stuff to do to check it out. But on Instagram, it's Pro Producer Sam. That's a new friend we met. Thank you, Cole, for that connection. Moving on, because we're already at our deadline, and I still haven't had a chance to mention that our make a difference this week is going to be centered around me. I get to talk at the DC Music Summit around the concepts of my book, which is Dev: 3 Keys for Success in the Modern Music, or in your modern music career. Or what did I say? Sorry, I don't even know my own book title. 3 Keys for Success in Your Creative Career. That's what it's called. And so I'm able to give a presentation on that. And I'm going to be working with them to try to promote that. Right now, there's 25% off tickets. So you can go to dcmusicsummit.org and use the code April, or 25 off. And that's good until April 30th, which is Friday. They've got a bunch of industry panels, seminars, like conversations, networking. Artists are performing for the event. We've got a lot of great sponsors and partners already on board, and working on trying to get Alchemical Records a chance to like maybe do some contests or something with them to help spread the word about the event. So go out there and grab those tickets. Because there's a lot of other people speaking besides me, and they're worth paying a little bit of money for.
Are you saying you're not?
Oh, I'm worth paying twice as much money for, but because I'm your friend, I won't charge you. But I was on a panel last year, and it was great. It was a huge panel. It was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of folks. But I am excited to like have something that's a little centered around the what would you call it? Like the ethos of what I do, and a lot of that is represented in Yellow Tie Guy stuff. It's just we're in it for the long haul. We try to create things that have value and provide value to other people. We're looking at real relationships and not just like selling the record, so to speak. It's always vital for every musician, but there's more to it than that. And DC Music Summit has been an event. I think this is their third or fourth year, and they just continue to grow and provide like updated music news and industry news, especially stuff that's local to the scene, and give people a chance to hang out with other musicians or DJs or radio personalities or venue owners and music store owners. And so there's a really good chance to meet somebody there and grow your music business, or just learn more about what the heck is going on in DC. Don't worry, Jamie. I'll get you a ticket. You can have me on in the background during a D&D game.
Put you up on the big screen.
Cool. Guys, Jamie, that's a Fireside Chat. It's a shame we didn't get the other band in, but we worked through some kinks.
Everything's saved for next time.
Everything's saved for next time. We went through our topics, and everybody gets kind of like a shorty this week.
Excuse me?
They get a shorty. I'm going to cut the clip so that way it's like 15 minutes.
Oh, sorry.
It's supposed to be a 30-minute episode. So.
No, I totally misinterpreted that. We should plan like a guest for next week.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's see if anybody watches this and has any guests they recommend to be
exactly.
on the
show. All you out there in YouTube land.
And
so it's not just Daniel and me talking at each other for 15 minutes. Maybe we should cut them all down to shorties. I mean, nobody likes long format podcasts anyway.
This would be different if we had the whole band like going back and forth between stuff. And I haven't tried to share my screen yet. We haven't played any audio for anybody.
The audio stuff I got that down.
Well, like next week we'll have, we should have a mix that, you can download the file and you would be able to play it through OBS without having the delay coming from my machine. And I could do some screen shares to show people more of what I'm talking about, or like when I'm looking at when I'm trying to find this guy's Instagram, I can actually share that with y'all instead of just keeping the picture on my face. So we've got some learning and some growing to do on, making the most of this, but we'll get there.
Indeed.
Thank you, Jamie and Jen, for sharing tonight's Fireside Chat.
Yeah, first inaugural YouTube Fireside Chat.
Woo!
Woo! We did it. Go team, go. See you next week.
Bye.
Oh, that's supposed to look like a 80s movie freeze. Exactly.
I saw you. Thank you, Jamie.
All right, later.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
And in street.